Hello to whoever is viewing this random YouTuber. I am Amrutha and I'm back again on this YouTube channel that I created almost more than a year ago. And this is my second video that I'm posting after quite a long period of time. And that's because I finally decided that I wanted to share something that was currently happening and something I work in and I'm also passionate about. So here I am with the topic. Now, this has to do with the current Iran Israel conflict, which the United States has recently entered by striking what US President Donald Trump says are Iran's nuclear facilities. Now, this is major event that is happening in the world. Um, Taking this development, I wanted to talk about the cyber warfare aspect of modern conflict. I work on the intersection of geopolitics and cybersecurity, and I read about this almost on an everyday basis. I discover something new on an everyday basis. So certainly, I wanted to go ahead and talk about something that was not traditionally envisioned, say in World War II, to this extent. In this video, I want to talk about what is dubbed the world's first digital weapon, which again revolves around Iran and its nuclear program. That's the importance of it and the importance of cyber warfare. While this is about history, I do want to take a moment to say that cyber attacks in this conflict, as we talk, are very much underway. And this would be wholly speculative by me, but Israel's bold decision to strike Iran's nuclear facilities, like literally provoking war, was perhaps based on intelligence that was acquired through cyber espionage. Now, let's dig into this historical story of what is dubbed the world's first digital weapon. This is the story of Stuxnet. It was a malware first discovered sometime in June 2010, almost 15 years ago to today's conflict. It's like full circle or something like that, at least for me. Now, this was discovered by an obscure little Belarusian antivirus company whose antivirus software was being resold in Iran. The reseller told the firm that some of their clients' machines were dealing with a persistent problem that they were facing. The machines were rebooting again and again. The researchers at the time at the firm were prepared to find some, usual kind of run of the mill computer virus, but what they ended up finding was much more sophisticated and something they weren't actually prepared to see or they wouldn't usually see. At the time, it was one of a kind, and that ushered in this whole new era of cyber weapons. Now, I am not exactly qualified enough to explain the technical aspects of it myself, so I won't go into detail about what all of this are. But one thing you should know about is zero day vulnerabilities, which are basically loopholes in a software that can be exploited for malicious activity and for which a security patch is unavailable because the software maker itself, in this case Microsoft, doesn't even know that a loophole exists. It becomes a zero day when this bug is exploited by a threat actor or a cyber criminal before there is a patch. Now, finding and exploiting such zero days are still pretty difficult, but not impossible. It's not as easy as taking a look at the code and just, instantly figuring it out like this. There are marketplaces on the dark web that do sell exploits, which are highly sought after and very expensive as well. There are companies also that specialize in buying and selling them, and some of them do it for government exclusively. And one such example that I wanted to share from my own personal experience is that I came across at work. There was this Russian firm with a website and all, which was offering nearly $4 million for Telegram exploits. Their website even specified that they exclusively sell to the Russian government. Now, remember, going back to the story, this is still very much back in 2009, so such exploits are much less commonly found on sale or a work of a usual hacker. This sophistication already had alarm bells ringing for the researchers, but they did not have a precedent on, to build on it and not yet arrived on the who, why, and how. Now, as the investigation continued and researchers and firms from around the world now pooled in after this initial discovery, taking a jab at unraveling the mystery that it was revealed that the attackers were specifically searching for machines running two Siemens system, which is an industrial control system. Now, this was again an unusual target because targeting ICS, industrial control systems, don't usually give the quick financial reward that most hackers or ransomware groups hope for. So, financial motivation did not seem to be a primary objective for these attackers. Now, we all know right now that it was centered around Iran, but when the researchers were looking at this malicious code, Iran as a target or as the only target wasn't known or even thought of instinctively. It was just a random case which sprouted from a country with less cyber defenses. It was just another country. Most cybersecurity firms were used to looking at patterns where more internet connected nations, such as the United States or countries in Western Europe, were most targeted by cyber criminals. So Iran's role was not even an afterthought. Now, Iran only came into the thoughts of researchers once they started looking at the traffic of infections and mapping them. And what did they find? Out of the initial 38,000 machines tracked around the world, 22,000 were based in Iran. That is something, obviously. Now, Indonesia and India followed in second and third rank, and then some in the US as well. But the Iran specificity wasn't something that the researchers thought they would get because, like I just explained, most cyber targeting happens in North American region due to digital advancement and the openness, not in a country like Iran. So the researchers did a quick Google search and they found links between Iran and India. And right there on the headlines was something about Iran expanding its nuclear program and Iran and India planning a gas pipeline spanning some 1,700 miles. Now, that's when the idea that this malware, Stuxnet, was possibly a geopolitical weapon came to be a strong theory. Now, another fun fact over here I wanted to insert, Stuxnet was a name which was given by Microsoft after one of its file names. So, what did Stuxnet do and who created it? It is largely believed that Stuxnet destroyed nearly 1,000 centrifuges at Iran's Natanz facility. Centrifuges is a term which is everywhere right now in the context of the conflict. It is a crucial device that is used in uranium enrichment process in nuclear technology. It allows the separation of uranium isotopes to produce fuel for nuclear reactors, or at higher enrichment levels, they can also provide material for nuclear weapons. So back in 2009 Iran, the centrifuges were working way below their capacity, and apparently they were new or something. But no one at this point knew where the problem was coming from when Iran's technicians were examining it. It could very well have been because of the growing pains or something like that. And turns out the problem was actually a cyber weapon, not an airstrike or a bomb or anything, but a remotely controlled computer virus that destroyed nuclear equipment and was a setback for Iran. Iran, however, has not yet confirmed reports of Stuxnet destroying their centrifuges. As for the question of who, nobody yet has owned up to it, but it is widely speculated that it was a joint operation between the United States and Israel. Now, as we come to the end of the video, I wanted to take a moment to tell you the source material for this video. It happens to be this book right over here. It is Countdown to Zero Day by Kim Setter. Now, as for the Iran Israel conflict, which the US has also now entered, we will see in the coming days and months how it is going to unravel and what kind of a role cyber weapons will go on to play, or maybe they have already played. We don't know. Stuxnet and similar such cyber weapons are just, one kind of a tool that is used in cyber warfare. It is not the only one, and there are several other types and forms as well. And I hope that in my future videos that I do talk about them and I make these videos. That is, if I do keep up the sort of consistency in posting and have the motivation to do so. And that's it. That's all for the video that I had to share with you. Hopefully, you liked this information, and hopefully, I will be back again. Until then, see you. Bye.